Hello there, my friends. Dan Deigan here. You know, I got a question for you. Do you ever, when you make big purchases, do you research those purchases? Do you really know the product that you're about to buy? The reason I'm asking is, over the last little while, since I've really been a big advocate of this education thing, and if you follow me on any of the social networks, if you've read any of my blogs, they're really focused around education and understanding, your industry, your career, all the nuances and all the critical things that can really help you excel and achieve high performance in your career. Now, my big question to you is, when you go to buy products, do you educate yourself on the products? And I can answer for me, absolutely. I most of the time know more than most of the people selling the products to me, right? I know when I went in to buy my car, I knew more about my car and the electric environment than the salesperson did, right? When I go in to buy TVs and stuff, I typically know more about those TVs than any of the salespeople in there, right? Yesterday, actually, I'm on my way home, which kind of spawned this post today. I'm on my way home, and because I have an electric vehicle, I'm allowed in the HOV lane, high occupancy vehicle lane, for those of you who, might not have one in your area. I'm in Ontario. And I look up, and all of a sudden I see lights behind me. And I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking, it didn't necessarily look like a police officer because it wasn't the red lights. It was like a white and orange. So I'm like, okay, well, there's obviously an emergency vehicle that needs to go by. So I pull over. Well, this vehicle continues to pull over beside me. Or behind me. And I'm going, what is this? So the gentleman gets out, and I look, and he's got like what looks to be like this full-on flak jacket, and it says MTO on it. And I'm like, MTO? For those of you in the US, it's the same thing as DOT. And I'm like, why would he be pulling me over? So the guy comes up to my window. He says, you only got one person in your car? I said, yeah. He goes, you're in an HOV lane. I said, yeah. He says, you have to have two people in your car? I go, I drive an electric car. I've got a green plate. He goes, you're not allowed in this lane. I'm like, and at this point in time, in my head, I'm blown away because you work for the Department of Transportation and you don't know the rules. I'm flabbergasted at this point. I go, yes, I am. I go, on the signs it says green plate. When you get a green plate, ask any police officer. He literally points to the sign and goes, that one doesn't say you can have a green plate. I go, yeah, that one might not say it, but the 15 other ones from the last 10 kilometers behind me do say it. I go, officer, you know what? With all due respect, you're wasting my time. I go, I am allowed in this lane. Why don't you focus on the other people that don't have green plates? Or I go, better yet, why don't we just educate ourselves on what the rules are of this lane? And I'm not, ask anyone that knows me, guys, girls, I'm not that type of person. Like, I don't typically flip my lid like that, but that was so aggravating. And it aggravates me when people don't know their product, don't know their industry, don't really know their service, right? His product is to maintain, transportation, legalities, whatever on the road, right? They have to make sure trucks are safety. They have to, more on the commercial side than the civilian side. Like, the police are more there for the civilian side when it comes to speeding and traffic and all that kind of stuff. So at first I was blown over. I guess they've now got which, don't get me wrong, I appreciate the fact that he's able to pull people over, because when I'm in the HOV lane and there's people booting by and they're in gas-powered vehicles and there's one person in the car, it frustrates me. Don't get me wrong. I get pissed because I say to myself, you know what? You have no right to be in this lane. Now, I have friends who I say the same thing to, and they're like, well, I go in the lane all the time. And I'm like, okay, why? Well, Dan, the amount of times that you get caught, it's worth it. The amount of time I save. Because don't get me wrong, I saved a good 45, 50 minutes off my travel time. That's huge twice a day, right? That's huge, my friends. So, theoretically I get that part, but it's wrong. It's illegal. So, I know, it's, as I say it sounds so trivial, doesn't it, when there's so many other things to worry about in the world? But the fact of the matter is, it's the rules, it's the regulations, and you know what? I bought an electric vehicle. I bought it to save on fuel. I didn't buy it because I can go into the lane. It's just a bonus to go into the lane, right? People carpool so they don't spend money and they get the ability to maybe get where they want to go faster. So that I get, right? getting off topic, and I apologize. Back to the education piece, right? So if you are, whatever industry you're in, I don't care if it's transportation, I don't care if it's selling trinkets, I don't care if it's, buffing the trinkets that people sell. You really have to educate yourself on the market, okay? And you really have to educate yourself on the who, what, where, when, why kind of the industry. So, in sales, for example, you really got to understand your competition, what your competition is selling. You really got to understand and educate yourself on what's happening in the market. Because a lot of the times, you don't need to sell your service, you need to sell challenges in the market, your solution to the challenges in the market. Because a lot of the times, that's a much bigger sell, not to mention it's more of a conversational selling feature than it is a, salesy selling feature. So do yourself a favor, my friend. Don't be that MTO driver. Educate yourself. Know what the rules are. Know what's good, what's bad, and in the end, understand your business. Until the next time, my friends, remember, go out there, make every call a learning experience, and crush your sales.